sharing the screen. Yes.
It's done. It's done.
Okay. Done. Okay. So yesterday we were here, right? We were dealing with deep learning, right? And we had a data set. That data set is called edge flight. And because this is our data set, so that's why it is easier for all of us to be on the same page. Okay. And we have seen the filter, what filter can do, and filter can filter the data based on your condition, and it can give you the result of whatever you wrote in the filter command. Now, quickly we'll try to cover as much as we can today. The next is so once again, I need to run all my code so that every variable would be created. In between, there are view commands, so that's why it comes. So I will just keep on control enter, keep on doing it. Yeah, it comes to the first line. It means that everything is executed. Now I have temp. Remember, now I have temp. So let me just delete, close everything. And this is the temp based on my condition. Suppose from this data, I don't want to see everything. Based on my condition, I filtered it, but I just want to see the flight number. Okay, for that, there is something called select, and it is very easy. So what we need to say, select. So once again, this pipe filter or the redirection, the symbol, whatever you want to name it as, and then we say select. And what we want to select, just make sure that you are using the correct name of that column. And the moment you say temp, and then if you view temp, every time, it automatically changes it. If you rewrite or overwrite your data frame, if you go to the view, it will be automatically changed. So now you can see that, right? That flight number and is only shown. And if you want to say that, okay, just let me see whether it's the correct filtered or not. So I will print the flight number and print comma day of month comma departure time, just to make sure that yes, it is executed correctly. So see, day of month, I said greater than 6. So this is right. And departure time is this 14, means 2 o'clock. So yes, so we can add filters. So whenever you have a data set and you want to perform some filtration, some selection, this is the easiest way to do this. Okay. So we done a filter and we done select. Now what is mutate, right? So when we want to mutate something, mutate means we want to create a new column based on the existing column. So this is what, so your data frame is mutated now. It has something new in it. So how? So let's see that you are saying same thing. Okay. I'll just copy and paste it. Double equal to is different from, yes, double equal to is different from equal to. Equal to means assigning, double equal to means checking, logical operator. Okay, so suppose I have done the same thing here, but before selecting these 3 columns, I'm saying that, okay, let me see first what are the things where we can do this kind of operation. Let me just see what are the columns, or let me just print it. Its name was HF flight. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out what I should do. Okay, so normally, yeah. So days of month, and month and day of month, day of week. Okay, departure time, arrival time, flight number, actual elapsed time, and arrival time. Okay. Okay. So suppose I want to say that this is my arrival time. Okay. This is the delay of arrival, and this is the delay of departure. So suppose I want to find out the total time. Okay, total time is 60. I don't know what elapsed time is, but what does it mean by the number of okay, so suppose the total elapsed time is 60 and arrival time is 40, and I want to find out the difference between them. Okay, difference between the arrival time and the actual elapsed time. How much is the actual elapsed time and how much was supposed to the for the arrive time? Okay, air time, sorry, air time. So I can create a new column. So all of you can. So, Hemant, if you are there, can you please give the download option to all the students for those Excel sheet? They are saying that only view option is there. Okay, can you give that? So mutate. Suppose I'm creating a new column, and the name of the column I'm saying actual time. Actual underscore time is equal to, suppose, what was that? Actual, no, not actual. It was actual elapsed time. Yeah, it was actual elapsed time. So you can see that sometimes you don't see the names. So somebody is sharing it. So I always do this so that I should not make any mistake in the name of the variable, minus air time. Okay, and then I print it with the actual time and use this sign. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a new column based on the two existing column, which is actually in this case is a difference between these two columns. It could be anything. It could be multiplication, or it could be percentage, any kind of mathematical operation if you want to perform. And now if you see the temp, you will have the actual time also, which is like 18. Actually, this is not actual time. This is a time difference. So I should say time difference. Maybe it is creating a. Yeah, I'm doing it. Time difference and this and control this. So this is my code. I'm just copy and pasting it on the chat. And do everyone need to just run this and then say view temp. Can you see this kind of table in front of you? So see what I have done. I have done that based on certain criteria. I filtered my data. Then I don't want to see every column. So I selected my column, what I want to see. And then I say that I created a new column, and for all these data, I have a new column, which is a time difference. So this is a kind of editing to your existing data set at the time of coding itself. Okay. So suppose for a biology guy, if you are dealing with expression data, error could not find. So if that is could not find this, I think dplyr is not loaded, or I don't know if it is not installed, then it's a big problem. If it is installed, you need to loaded library dplyr. That is not done up enough. Okay, so suppose you have an expression data, expression of any protein. Um, and and then you have an expression of some protein in some cellular location and also in another cellular location, and there are other details, name of the protein and blah blah everything. But you want to find out that in this particular protein, what is the difference between the expression of this particular protein in mitochondria and in cytoplasm, or maybe in disease condition and in a normal condition. Okay, so that time you can use the mutate. That time you can just create a new file, a new column, and that column would be the difference of these two. Okay, so this is what what we have for mutate. Now the next is summarize, right? I think, yeah, arrange. Okay, so arrange is nothing but ordering, um, either um, ordering your data set based on some column. Okay, either ascending order or a descending order. Okay, so this is very easy. So suppose I just pasted the same thing and select this. If I'm not mistaken, this thing I have not used for a while. Arrange. Based on, let's say, time difference, and yeah, so right, so this is done, right? So now you can see that the minimum time difference is at the top and the maximum is at the bottom. Okay, that you can do. Okay, there is one more thing. If this is from min to max, you can also do from max to min. I just try to find it out. Days of month and time of flight difference of 0 to 0. I don't know what exactly you're saying. If you say descending and then run it, it will do the opposite of what it has done earlier. Okay, you can arrange this on any column. Right now I arranged it on a time difference. You can arrange it on whatever the other column you want. Where I have written 0, write 0. Sometimes you have, can you paste the code? I'm doing some error. Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. I can paste it, no issue. Okay, let's, no, there is days of week. I'm not saying anytime 0. Every time it is, no, it is not 0. It is days of week. It is O. Okay, so all of you need to do this. And say yes if you got the answer. Got the answer means that this kind of answer. Yes, done. Now let's see the last thing. For ascending, you just remove this DESC, that keyword. It will work. Okay. Now let's see the next verb, which is called group by and summarize. So group by and summarize always comes together. Okay. So here, suppose I'm doing it once again. Error in edge flights, filter, this. Now, at the end, why you are having a percent greater than percent sign? The last line, this should not have any sign. See here, because we are not passing it to anything else now. And could not find function, it means you just run this, Atul, run this command, library deep live, and see that what it is saying, and then run your code. Okay. So now the last thing is this, that suppose I have many flights. So I have many flights, and I'm not sure whether there are any duplicates in the flight number or not. Okay. So let me check. Let me check whether there is a duplicate. Yeah, there are duplicates. Okay. So there are like this flight and this flight number are same. Okay. This flight number are same, right? So maybe in your data set, if there are different kind of entries which are same, and that represent one class. Okay. Suppose I'm saying that I have a data set for the population of India, and then for each city, but for each city, it must belong to one state. So one state can have multiple cities. So it means that all those cities belongs to one class, which is the state of that, right? So similarly here, if you see that all these data, whatever the data is, I mean, not all these, but at least these two belongs to the same flight. If I suppose that the flight number means the same flight. Okay, so don't go to the literal meaning if that is wrong. But I'm just thinking that if the flight numbers are same, flight numbers, not the tail number, I don't know what is that. So if flight numbers are same, I'm saying that they are same flight. Now, same flight, I have multiple data points. Okay, it is a very realistic situation. You can have it. Now, if you group by, you say group, you will see this. Okay, group by based on, let's say, flight number. Okay, let's say if you run this, do you see any change? Go to the flight name number, and only change that you will see is that now all the flight number of same number will be arranged together. That's it. Okay, so this is a number, so you may consider it like ascending or descending, but guys, it can do with the alphabets also. I don't know, unique carrier, we can do it with the unique carrier. Let's do it on the unique carrier. Okay, that will make more sense. Unique carrier, and you go to 10. See that your unique carrier AA, all AA will come here, and CO will come here. Okay, so you are getting it. Say thumbs up or hands. What is that? Hand raise if you are getting it. What the group by is doing. Yes, only to quickly raise your hand. Just you have to go there and raise your hand. I want to see more number of people to understand what is group by. So your data set may have different classes. You are grouping your data based on a certain class. Whatever class you want to choose, you can choose. Here you can choose flight number, unique carrier, tail number. Okay, right? Now, once you do this, so suppose this unique carrier means the flight. Okay, and I want to know that for this AA, whatever the AA corresponds to a flight, I want to know that what is its average number of running per week, okay, which is day of week, okay, for this, only for this AA, okay, only for AA. So if I ask you that, can you give me the average of um, number of day of week for AA unique carrier? Can you do this? Don't use group by. That is not required. Whatever we learned, we can do this. So my question is this: give me the average of day of week, means how many day in a week it runs, for only for the carrier AA. Okay, and by the way, average can be done using mean. Can you do this? Can you first print the day of week only for AA? I think that is very easy, very easy. Day of week only for AA. Yes, no, what? Quickly, guys. I don't know whether you are doing it or not. So what I'm asking is day of week. First, let's say temp equal to h flight percentage. So one, yes, I don't know. Only one guy wants to do this. Filter, and I'm saying what? I'm saying unique carrier is equal to AA. See, knowing something is much simpler than applying the same thing, right? You may know the thing, but you don't know when to apply it. That is much more difficult. Okay, so filter, and then I'm saying select, and I want to only select, let's say, days of week. See, if I'm doing this, so it will select for, okay, it is not executed yet. Okay, so it is saying error because AA is a string and I have not done that. So days, week, and let's print the unique carrier also. Okay, and see this code AA and days of week. But what I'm saying, what is the average for this? Okay, so it means that I'm saying what is the average of this column of days of week. Okay, so this is what I'm asking you to do. Okay, so we can try. We can say that, okay, mutate average, let's say average is equal to mean of days of week. Okay, and select only average. Let's see what it says. It should not repeat, I think. Okay, that sign was missing, that's why. Yeah, so it is repeating. Why it is repeating? Because there are multiple such rows, and that's why but you can see that the average value is same for all of them. Okay, so 100% this is not a smart thing to do, and that's why we come up with group by. Now if you do the same thing but with a group by and summarize, see that how it will look like. Okay, so this is just to show you that that's how you can do it, but not in a best way. By group by, you can do it in a best way, saying group by based on unique carrier. So not only A, but everything. And then you say summarize uh, average is equal to mean of days of, and you can see that what we will see after this days. So sometimes this doesn't work when we use days of week. Okay, and say enter, and let's say how it looks like. Okay, can you see this unique carrier, all the unique carrier AA, AS, P6. So for this, my average days it runs in a week is 3.9. For AS, it is 4. Okay. Here also you can arrange it based ascending or descending. So you can see that some carrier which is YV in number has its average running time or running frequency in a week is highest. Okay, for each class you can get this. So now and see, just a 3-line code can do this thing. Yes, and I can try. I have not done this, but I can try. I suppose I'm saying filter. After this, I'm running a filter and saying your unique carrier should be AA. And say this. See, now only for AA one time. I can do for anything. I can do for whatever I want. But if I don't do anything, it will give me for all the classes. So guys, just I pasted it on your chat box. Do it and let me know if you can see the result like this. Yes. Need to see more. Yes. Yes, fine. Now we are going to do some plotting exercise. Okay, we will do the plotting exercise. Last one is, if suppose you are not interested for all these classes, if you are interested only for AS, so you can use filter. This is I used. Then you used filter. Out of all, I filtered only for this. Okay, so that's it. Now let's quickly go and see some plotting, if if we can see that. So let me just say, sir, what if I want to select carrier starting with, yeah, that is also one thing that you can do, if starting with Y. That should work with grep. Okay, so there is a grep command that will solve this, something which you are right now saying. But if I go there, I mean that would be a bit tricky. But I can suggest you that just go and find out grep. Okay, let me first now just start something new, which is plotting. So I'm just trying to see that on which data set. So all of you have this data sheet.xlsx on your system. Yes, it is shared on WhatsApp group and also on the Google Drive, so you can take it from there. So first of all, you write with me. Suppose this is a new day, and we say library. First of all, deploy it, load it. Even if it is loaded, just load it. No, Rashi, today we are not going to cover QSAR. We are going to cover K-means today. Okay? QSAR will be on the last day. You can see the timetable. Okay, if you are well versed, if you want to leave and do something else, you can go ahead. If you want to be here, most welcome. Okay? So let's and then say library ggplot2. Now I have ggplot, but you may not have the ggplot. So go to package once again, go to install and go to ggplot. ggplot2, this and install it on your system. Okay, please do that. Install ggplot, which is for plotting. Okay. Now, third library that we want is, because today we are going to work on the Excel file, not on the CSV file. So we also want OpenXLSX.
Sir, can you please show how to find again ggplot? I couldn't find it.
Okay. Go to install. Okay, and write ggplot. Both are same, library and packages are same. And then you can see the second option as ggplot2. Enter it and say install. And
got it, thank you.
Check the install dependency. After this, you need to similarly you need to install OpenXLSX. Okay. The next library that you have to install, or next package, and the last one you need to install is library read Excel. You may need it or may not. I'm not sure. But just for the safety, it's better to install everything so that later on it will not create any problem, I think. Okay. Now, guys, we are going to read a file. So don't do this time a path error. Okay. Whatever the path, Windows or Linux, it works. You just use that. Let me know if you have already installed these three packages. Dplyr was already installed, ggplot2, OpenXLS, and readXL. Okay, good. If you have installed all three, then only you say yes. Okay. If you install, now read your file datasheet.xlsx, okay, which I shared with all of you. Wherever it is, you need to say read Excel, and then in like read.csv, you have read_Excel, and then the complete path of that file. For me, it is home gdt desktop, then Pygo, this is my path, and then I have datasheet.xlsx. This you have to say, and then in Excel file, we may have multiple sheet, So we can say sheet equal to 1 means the first sheet. Okay, please do this because this takes lots of time for you guys, like in the last session. Make sure where you have downloaded the file and run this command. And once this command is done, I just said, Ankit, that your Excel file may have multiple sheet, like sheet 1, sheet 2. You know that Excel file, right? In Excel file, you can have multiple sheet. Um, I don't want to right now open any file, but like sheet 1 and sheet 2, you can rename also. Yes. So sheet equal to 1 means it is reading the first sheet, and then you say view df and just see, and you can see this kind of. So this is facility name, facility type, states, district, taluka, block, entry date, footfall, male, means number of patient coming to your clinic, male patient, female patient, others, total, patient received medicine, patient availed diagnostic test, availed tele, teleconsultation, and wellness session conducted, and total, and all kind of data you have here. Can you see this? Once you do this, so I cannot paste it because here the path would be different for you. Now, who has not done this? Who has not done this? Okay, Anjali. What is any problem, Anjali? Or problem with the Microsoft Office? But there is nothing to do with the Microsoft Office. Yes, Anjali, come on, go ahead. Tell me.
So the file that you sent on WhatsApp, I downloaded it and then uh, I wrote that path as well. But again, now it's showing that error, and it says that could not find function read underscore Excel.
It means that you have not installed OpenXLSX, or you have not called it. Can
I
you
have
just
downloaded.
so can you run this library OpenXLSX? That is okay. DF, that doesn't matter. And maybe once again you can change it and rerun it. Yes, Anjali, can you run this? These.
Yeah, I rerun all those 4 codes. Um,
What it is saying? Only run this. Only run this.
okay.
Only run this. Okay, and all of you, those who have already ran it, for them, now the thing is, suppose, so because we have to formulate a problem for plot, right? We cannot just plot everything. If all packages are loaded and you call again, what will happen? No, nothing. Nothing will happen. It will show smoothly, no error, and everything will be fine. Okay. Yes. Who is there?
Anshu.
Anshu.
Sir, it's showing me error that path does not exist. But what does this mean? Actually, the data sheet is at my desktop only, and I have given that path. But now it's showing error in view. Object DF not found.
So your read Excel is not working, right?
Yes, sir. Mine also not working, although I have downloaded it.
What? So Anjali, is it still saying that the read Excel function is not found?
Sir, I first downloaded and then I ran that library open XLSX code,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
says there is no package called OpenXLXS, although I have downloaded it.
You install it and still it is saying that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So I also have given you read dots datasheet.csv. Okay. For that we don't need any package. So if you want, you can change it to CSV file. No need to say sheet one. Both has almost same data. Both has same data. Okay. If you have any problem with Excel, please use this CSV file. Okay. Now, the next thing is, suppose I want to plot a bar chart between the district.
Sorry, sir,
Yes.
but for this .csv also, it's still showing error in view object df not found.
Okay. Paste your command. Paste your command. If Excel is creating a problem, use CSV, but you paste your command. Why you are taking so long to paste your command? Yes. Read.csv C desktop. Why you did not put the double quote at the end of your datasheet.csv? When you started with the double quote, you should end with the double quote, right? You see
Yes,
my code, right?
right.
That's why it is. That's why it is saying error. Otherwise, everything is fine, I think. Anshu, can you just put a double quote and rerun quickly this command?
I think it's coming now. The CSV.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. So, guys, I have few things to teach, but sometimes because the time does not permit, so I don't know. We have to limit ourselves. So suppose if you read a CSV, I don't know. Maybe all of you read a CSV file. Don't read a Excel. Just read a CSV, because then we all will be on the same page. Otherwise, there will be a difference. So suppose I'm calculating, I want to plot a bar chart between a district and a patient number. So if you see my DF, there is a district here. Okay. Oh, sorry. There is a district here, and there is a patient number, and that patient number is, let's say, only for the male patient. Okay. Or let's say for the footfall total. So I want to plot a mean. Okay, are you understanding my problem? So my statement, I'm saying plot the average patient for each district. So first of all, you need to find out the average patient for each district, right? So how you will find out? Because here, if you see districts, there are many districts, and all these patients are in from the one district, and I need to sum it up, or the average, sorry, average of footfall total for each district. What you will use? What you will use? Anyone?
For average, we use the main function.
What?
For
Yes.
average, we can use the main function, and we have to group by the district name, so we can use.
Absolutely correct. Okay. At least you can figure out that what we need to do. How maybe you can make a mistake, but that's fine. So let's say I'm calling it as mean equal to start writing with me. DF is my data frame, and saying group by based on what? Based on district. Okay, I read the CSV file, guys. Don't say anything now on that. Okay, based on the the district, and then I say this and say summarize mean equal or average. This is just a variable name, column name. Average is equal to mean of, but this is a function, mean of footfall total. Okay. If you guys did not do this with me, copy and paste it and say control enter. And just view your mean just to make sure that the things are right. Yes, for one district, I don't know how many of you know this district or not. This is from Bihar, Araria, which has average 18.1 patient coming. Okay. And on Arwal, we have 24.9. For Aurangabad, it is 14.6, and so on and so forth. Right. Now I want to plot a bar chart for this. Okay. For that, I'm going to use ggplot. Plot bar chart. Okay. See, all of you, maybe I would talk to Decode, and maybe sometimes we would run a extensive R programming, classes, so that we can cover. I have so many things to teach and learn to share, but of course, because this is not dedicated for R programming. This is for R programming is just a part of it. But sometimes we can run a extensive R programming and data analysis there. Okay, even we can do some machine learning if you guys are interested. Okay, so plot bar chart. So how we will plot a bar chart? We will use a ggplot. Okay, ggplot function. Now this ggplot has several components. Okay, we will try to understand the component. And then we will start, plotting it. So the first component is called setup. Okay. So just after ggplot, whatever we write, this is called a setup. Okay. So ggplot bracket inside whatever we will write, and that setup has one, required element. Error, problem, summarize column. Okay. Did you just pasted and executed my command? I don't know why X error in evaluating. I don't know. But have you read the file correctly? Can you see your DF? Then it is a bit difficult right now to handle it. Sorry, but okay. So maybe you can just see right now the ggplot, and if we can, we will come back. So ggplot is saying the first is setup, and setup needs the data set. And what is my data set here in this case? What is my data set? So first is the data set. So what is my data set? What is the name of? Please type it. Don't unmute and say mean, right? So mean is my data set. Okay. So fine. So I just say that okay, guys, now do one thing. Because I have just extended it. Now I will, because now I'm going to see the plot. So your plot area should be decent enough. And go to plot and ggplot and say mean. Can you see this? Yes, you can see this. You must have seen it on your desktop. Okay. So there is nothing right now. It is just created the outline of your box. Okay. Now, after the data set, I have to pass it a function called AES, which stands for aesthetic. Aesthetic And then inside the bracket of aesthetic, I have to say what is my X and what is my Y in this data set. So my X is district and my Y is average. X is district, so maybe that will not work. So it's maybe I'll just, because sometimes we just do some mistake with the name, and so I just copy it. District is my X and Y equal to average. Okay, now just this much and plot it. So you will see something like this, okay, which is again not right now in a proper shape. Okay, now this is your setup. Now the second thing is layers, which is called layers, LAYERS. Okay, so I will add the layer, and what layer is mainly doing, it will instruct that what kind of plot you want. Okay, so here I want a geom. If you say GEO, you will find all kind. Sorry, you will see all kind of layers: app line, area, bar, blah blah, everything. Okay, so I will select geom bar. Okay, and geom bar has some argument. For time being, you just keep it in your mind that I have to say stat equal to identity inside it. And then you run this. Okay. I pasted it. Guys, if you can get this kind of plot in front of you, yes or no? Only two, yes, okay. I need at least 50% of you should be able to run it. I know that it is not possible for everyone to run in the first go. Okay. And after this, and there are many other options, so don't get into the detail. There are many such things you can do, but I'm going with what are the first elementary thing that you need to understand. Yeah, because this is a argument. This is a keyword which is there. Okay, so that's why, Ankit, I told you that just for time being, keep it in your head, and we will see that how to do this. Okay, but I'll tell you that when we say identity, then the bar size or the length of the bar will depends on the numbers. Okay, numbers means what is the average. So when we say identity, stat equal to identity, that is like a conventional bar we plot. Okay, so for you, just keep it that for most of the time you have to say stat equal to identity, but there are other things also. There are many such things. I have conducted a workshop only for graphs on R. Okay, so now the other thing is, this is your setup. This is your, what was that? The second thing was what? First one was setup. Second one was layer, right? Third is your label. Okay, so if you want to label your x-axis or y-axis or something like that. Okay, so say labs stand for labels, and inside this you say title is equal to total patients. Okay, and then you say x is equal to district and y is equal to patient's number. Okay, and just run this. So now on x-axis and y-axis, by the way, if you click this zoom, you can see this plot here. Even you can say do this to make it bigger and bigger. Okay, so this is your labeling your thing. Okay, and the last part or the component of ggplot is theme. So there are four parts: setup, layers, labels, and theme. Now theme is what? Theme is as the name suggests, that the extra beautification of your plot. Okay, so suppose if you want to give a text size, increase the text size, or give some color, or that kind of thing. Okay, so right now I will just use one thing in theme which is required, that is the access text. So you see that access text, all the name of your districts are long, so that's why it is overlapping, which might not be good for me. So I'm saying access text is equal to, okay. So you may be thinking that we can do such kind of plotting very easily in Excel. Why to use R with such kind of coding? But the advantage is in Excel, every time you have to perform that. Right? You have to change and you have to select and do all kind of formatting. But here, the moment you write a code one time, next time if your data follows the same pattern, you can get the absolutely same plot. I mean, same in the terms of look wise. Okay. So element underscore text, I will write it in the chat box right now. Just look at it and say angle is equal to 90. I want to rotate it, and it will do something like this. Now you can see this plot, and now we can see the name of all those districts properly. Now just run this on your system. And guys, there are many other things that you can do, but this is just right now the elementary, not so much of elementary, but yes, ggplot is very powerful tool. Just do this and run it and copy the same thing, paste it after this. Okay, paste it just after this. By the way, you can color based on many other stuff also you can do. Okay, so okay, did you do that, guys? Done? You got the bar chart. See, if you don't say yes, if I paste anything on the chat box, you have to say yes, done. Okay, done. Now, just instead of geom bar stat equal to identity, the layer, just say I will change the layer from bar to point. Okay, select the point, or you just write it. That's it. And inside this, don't do anything. And just select and run it. The same thing, you can get it in a point, in a scatter plot. Yes. And by the way, you can do, as I said, several stuff. This is just one thing. Just geom point instead of geom bar, say geom point. Okay, so this is very systematic coding, right? You have different component. You just have to play with selective component, and you will get. Yeah. So I know that there is a heat map. There is histograms, there is box plot, lots of things, right? But if you want me to cover everything, I think we have to stop all the classes and just go for the heat map and for the R. Okay, there is a density map. Okay, so many kind of things. So maybe if you want to, yeah, you can add plus minus SEM. But right now, guys, if whatever I'm doing, if you are able to replicate on your system, that should be enough for this session. Okay. Now, suppose I want to plot the same thing. Okay. But this time, I also want to color it based on some other variable. Suppose based on in fact, you can, based on the district itself, you can color it. So come on, let's do this. Say fill equal to district. Sorry. Same command. In aesthetic, after y, you have to say fill equal to district and see that what it shows you. There are many districts, so that's why it is creating a problem. So you will have the labels here. Okay. Okay. So this is, I would now, ask all of you, at least bar plot and the scatter plot are the two very basic plot that you need to know. But now I think because as you know that we have limited time and we cannot cover each and every type of plot. But if you want a plot sessions, all kind of plot session, okay, all kind of plot sessions in detail, just write it to sorry, I'm just copying and pasting it. Write it to Decode Life Science that you want a complete session on plotting graphs in R. Okay, then we would have at least a week of time, and then we can go for all kind of radial plot, histograms, density plot, heat map, dendrograms, all kind of things.
So can we also plot survival in R?
For?
Like survival KM plots.
KM plots?
Yeah, Kaplan-Meier plots.
Patient survival plots.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. But as you know that those plots are not very easy to, do the coding for that. So for that, we need to have a separate sessions of plotting in R. Okay. Then we can only cover everything, starting from the basic, because if you leave the basics, I think, we cannot jump it there. Okay. Flower plot, sorry, I don't know what is that flower plot? Sorry, I'm sure that it can be done, but, or I don't know, the same thing is called flower plot or something else, but yes, the answer is yes. Means you just name any plot, it can be done in R. Yes, Venn diagram, of course. Venn diagram is also a part of it, yes. Okay, now, before I end the session, I want to teach something, special for today's session. So something bit advanced. Okay, so first of all, let's create but once again, the problem would be the reading the file, and you guys are doing lots of mistake in reading the file. So suppose I'm just creating a CSV file. Can you see my CSV screen? Yes? And here I am creating a CSV file. All of you need to create with me, okay? City and population and let's say literacy, okay? Yeah, manually created, okay? We will not do lots of things. We will just quickly create it. Okay. And we will not do any realistic thing. We can put anything. Let's say A, B, C, D, E, F. Suppose we have at least we want 20 F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and M. Okay, let's say from A to M, I have city, ink, the what? Okay, increase the font. Okay, it nothing but you can create it on your own. I want you to create on your own. I don't know why this thing. Okay, population. Let's say 10, 14, and then 12, then 17, then 22, 34, 55, 62, 65, 74, 90, 101, 200, and 89. Okay. If you want to do the same thing, I just copy and paste it here. Okay, just copy and paste, please. And literacy is okay. Leave literacy. Okay, leave it. Just city and population. Just city and population. I think this is very easy, guys. But I just share this city and population. A to M is the city name, and suppose I am saving it on my. Okay. Okay. Sorry. There is some problem sometimes. Okay. Population is this. And city is, because that is hanged, this application is not very good on Linux, so it hangs A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Okay. Okay. So, and save it as a CSV file on desktop or wherever you want. This is Excel or Excel type on Linux, so don't worry. You just use whatever you have, Excel. Okay. So and save it on desktop. Let's say population.csv.
There are 3 types of CSV in which we can save. It shows.
Comma separated CSV.
Okay.
Okay. So CSV. Then just hold on. So save it as CSV. I have only one CSV, but in Excel I know that there are 3 kind of this, and separated it, and just go to R. Go to R and read that file. Okay, read that file. Say pop is equal to read.csv / I'm typing my own home gdt desktop and then your CSV file, whatever the CSV file. Okay, and that is population.csv, and just view it just to make sure that yes, the thing is done. Can you copy the path? But my path would be different. Why you want to know my path? So this is my file, and this is read perfect. Okay, comma separated. Yes, comma separated. Okay. Now the next thing is we have seen it, and now what we are going to do is we are going to cluster it based on your population of that city. So all similar kind of population should come together, and all different should come in a group, right? Similar kind of population should come in a group. Okay, so for that, unfortunately, we have to make this data frame into a matrix, because that is only can be fed to k-means algorithm. So, but that is very easy. You say pop underscore matrix is equal to as dot matrix. So as is to convert anything into the thing that you want to. So as matrix pop, what I want to convert, but if you see pop, it will be same, nothing will be changed. Okay, if you see here, city, population, same, no difference. It is just a data type difference, and this is required because the next function that I'm going to use takes only matrix, not the data frame. This kind of funny thing also happens. So suppose I'm saying KM, which is stands for k-means. You can use whatever. You can say cluster is equal to k-means, and k-means takes the matrix. But before giving the matrix, it is always good to standardize it or normalize it, if you know what is normalization. Okay, so it is good to standardize or normalize it, and for that we have a function called scale. Okay, k-means is what? K-means is a clustering algorithm which cluster your data based on the difference between the data. Okay, I don't want to get very technical. It is called Euclidean distance, but k-means is the algorithm for clustering your data. Okay, so scale, and I say scaling it my matrix pop underscore matrix, and suppose, and you have to say how many cluster you want. So for that you need to say centers equal to, let's say 3. I want 3 cluster. Does it work? Okay, could not. It is saying KE means. I think the spelling is wrong. Yeah. So it is saying that X must be numeric. Okay. But X is your numeric. Okay. By the way, guys, because we have not too much time left, so I think it is saying your X is numeric, and it may not taking it as a numeric value, but it should. But anyway, I have one data set. Okay, so don't worry. Just the method is same. Maybe the data set is something wrong. Okay, so I'm saying pop is equal to CSV, and I have a data set. If you want, I can share it with you. GDT, I will share it with you. GDT desktop, and this is a real data set. Desktop, no. Desktop, Chicago. Okay, and then it is inside it. I have a publication clustering, yes, clustering publication this. So if you see this data set, what this data set is, cluster means city, number of scientists in that city, and number of publication in that city. So I have two, actually, yes, that is the problem. I should have two rows, two columns. That's why it was. So cities and population, based on these, I'm going to cluster it. So this is fine, matrix. And if we see pop, we can see it here, cluster. Okay, yes, now I got that. So it is saying the X is numeric. So what I need to do is I need to drop that thing, the cluster name. Okay, the cluster name I have to drop, which is not numeric. That's why it is saying problem. So I will say after this, now I can use my data also, the city population data. City, and then how to drop a column. For dropping a column, the smartest thing is you say column is equal to null. Okay. Okay. If you say column equal to null, if you view now population data, it will have only population, not the column. Okay. I'll come to that point how you can add it. Now the matrix, and the matrix will be like this, all the number, and cluster will be formed because there is only number. And if, okay, and don't use the cluster, this is a keyword, so cluster 1. And don't worry, I will share this code. For time being, you can see this. So there are 3 cluster formed. Okay, there are 3 cluster formed, 1, 2, and 3. And your cluster vector will say that all these are from first clusters, this are from second cluster, this one is from third cluster, and this is also from second cluster. But this is not a good representation, right? So you want to present your data as a plot. Okay, so for that there is something called sorry guys, somebody wanted me to go a little bit advanced, so I thought maybe I should just do this. Okay, cluster, okay, sorry, this should be cluster 1. See how it looks like. Okay. Just deleted all the plots and say cluster 1 equal to this. Okay. Okay, so I think 2 of these clusters are mixed. Why it is saying cluster data is equal to, okay. Data should be your pop underscore matrix. Sorry, guys. Dimension 2. Okay. I think it is creating right now a problem. But let me just show you this, how it should be done. Just wait for it, and then we can do this. Okay, this is my code. In fact, I have written it for not for this, but for that scientist and publications. So if I do this for scientist and publication, you can see that your scientists and publications are, based on these two data set, based on these two variables, my whole data points are clustered. Now, right now, I don't know which one is what. Okay, that we can label it. Okay, but as I know that which one is what. So this one is Delhi, and this one is Calcutta, and you can label it. Okay, so that there is a way to label it. But because we are running sort of time right now, so what you guys suggest? Should we take this k-means at the end, the last class in along with the QSAR? Will it be okay? Yes. So right now, you already have lots of things to practice. Yes. So because see in QSAR, we will go for slightly advanced thing in R. So I would suggest that maybe on that day with a fresh note, we will deal with this k-mean. Okay. So for time being, let's just stick to the bar plot and the chart and the scatter plot. Okay. Will it be good? Yes. Okay, Mayank, now just I'm stopping it here. I will share this code with the code and they will give it to you. Anything you want to say? Anyone wants to say anything? You guys were saying something for this, I believe. That should we take this in the last session? Okay. Okay, so we will do the best because see, right now what will happen is we are already overloaded with other thing. In any given day, fresh day, maybe we can do this and QSR both. And maybe on that day, if it is required, I can just stretch it to half an hour more, the way we have done today. But guys, you can understand that there are lots of things to cover and people are getting error in between. So it is a bit challenging sometimes, but with all your support, it can be done. Okay. But I'm 100% sure that you all have learned many things new in this 3 days classes. Is it? Am I right or? Yeah. So now I believe that just try to take your data set, try to do some analysis on that, and try to plot at least the bar chart and the scatter plot. At least this much you do it. Okay. And in next session, in coming session, again, you will have to do something on R. But I know that those things will be more like a ready-made, means there will be already a library and you need to just use it. But what I am telling you, it is more like doing a programming, means when you are doing your own program. Okay. Okay, guys, so we all are already late. So let's close it here and we will see you in the next session.